The Book of Kings in the Old Testament speak of a kingdom known as Sheba, located somewhere south of Arabia, or perhaps east of Africa. More specifically, biblical doctrine details the kingdom's queen, an enigmatic ruler born as a half-blood between a male minister and a female nature spirit, a jinn. Her appearance, while no doubt beautiful, is evasive. According to some cultures, she is rumored to have furry legs, donkey hooves, and at times even the feet of a goose. Some say she has the power of a shapeshifter. In truth, however, she appears to have jackal ears, horns, and a fluffy, velvety tail. More importantly, the Queen of Sheba inherits magical powers from her jinn heritage, specializing in clairvoyance and future precognition. While one might be inclined to abuse such powers, the Queen remains humble, refraining from predicting the future of people she knows. Even then, her visions are never set in stone, as knowing the future may cause it to change. Instead, she is more prone to remember what people have said ages ago, recalling these memories at critical moments for her advantage. Rather than relying on her clairvoyance, the Queen of Sheba harnesses her intellect and lust for money to build an exceptionally wealthy and prosperous nation. In fact, profits happen to be the very blood and breath that circulate through her mind and body. With her discerning gaze, she can both appraise the worth of any object and analyze the actions of her enemies. By supplementing this with her talent as a magus during the Age of Gods, it's no wonder this queen is so renowned despite remaining nameless. While acclaimed for her own merits, the Queen of Sheba is best known for her interaction with the Israelite king Solomon, known far and wide for his peerless wisdom. She is drawn to him and decides to journey across the desert to meet him in Jerusalem. The desert is an endless sea of sand that stretches out past the horizon, a land of death where not a single drop of water can be found. Yet, to cross it, the queen orders hundreds of camels, accompanied by thousands of soldiers in attendance, to form a single file procession. Each camel is laden with incredible treasures: 120 talents of gold, sapphires, amber, opals, garnets, spices, and the most profound treasure, the queen's own heart and good graces. Without a moment's respite, they travel through scorching heat and sandy dunes for over 2 months, comforted only by the chilling moonlight. At the desert's end lies the Red Sea Harbor, where the queen's caravan rents hundreds of ships to set sail for the north. They arrive on the edge of the Gulf of Aqaba, at a port founded by Solomon himself. The procession astounds the people of Israel as the queen finally reaches Jerusalem's glittering white ramparts. Even in this city of wealth, the queen's riches are lavish enough to make the citizens' eyes pop. And thus, King Solomon repays the queen's kindness with a tour of the palace and temple, treating her to glorious dance and dinner. While enthralled, the queen moves to her true order of business, challenging the wise king with a series of questions even she cannot answer on her own. Solomon responds in kind, answering each question with insight. Thus, the queen entrusts Solomon with the 3 most precious riddles she carries in her heart, known as the 3 enigmas. Posing these questions sparks a battle of wits between the 2 rulers. To the naked eye, their dialogue merely looks like a simple consultation. Beneath the surface, however, both Solomon and the Queen of Sheba aim to challenge and impress each other with their clairvoyance and reasoning, making the challenge mentally exhausting. The first riddle states, there is a room with 10 doors. When 1 door is open, 9 are closed. When 9 doors are open, 1 is closed. Solomon's answer is immediate, a person, with the room being the womb, and the 10 doors being the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, navel, and genitalia. As a fetus, the navel is open, but closed forever at birth. The second riddle states, these words weigh more than gold or even life itself, and require 4 people to carry them. And yet, their master has never once seen them. Solomon's answer is the Ark of the Covenant, containing the 10 Commandments. The third and final riddle states, the ocean is calm. A ship sails forward against the wind. The ship's pilot plots a course toward dark clouds. The ship is in no way prepared to weather a storm. Solomon answers that the ship is a nation, and its ruler the pilot. The ocean is time, inevitably prepared to swallow the ship, and yet it must sail on. Satisfied with both question and answer, Solomon and the Queen of Sheba form an alliance and a friendship. To mark the occasion, the queen promises to come to Solomon's aid should he need it, vowing to return from beyond the desert to assist him. In both awe and respect, the queen sets off to her home of Sheba. Beyond this encounter, no other documents exist, and yet, as time would have it, even royalty meets its end in one form or another. Thus, the queen meets her corporeal end and is recorded into the throne of heroes. Her wish as a heroic spirit, of course, is the fulfillment of her promise to Solomon. This connection transcends the Age of Gods into the modern era, where the ambitious mage Marsbury Animesphere establishes the Chaldea Security Organization, with wealth obtained from fighting in a Holy Grail war alongside his servant, who happens to be Solomon. Chaldea strives to protect the human order, monitoring its prosperity through both the past and future. Chaldea's lens that observes the Earth across time is named Sheba as homage to the Queen's clairvoyant battle with Solomon. This plays a major factor in the Queen being able to fulfill her promise by protecting the world Solomon helped build. During his life, King Solomon had conjured various demon gods who, after his death, aimed to serve humanity in their own distorted way. The collective hive mind of these gods, Getia, seeks to improve humanity by incinerating history and starting from scratch. Disagreeing with this ambition, however, Chaldea mobilizes its master, Ritsuka Fujimaru, to undo the incineration by resolving singularities in history and defeating the demon gods. At Solomon's Temple of Time, Ritsuka and their servants manage to destroy Getia, but 4 of these demon gods survive the encounter and escape from the temple as it collapses. These remnant demons each go on to create lingering singularities for Chaldea to investigate. One such demon god, Raum, seeks humanity's salvation through pain and suffering, and aims to accomplish salvation by summoning the outer god, Soot Typhon, to Earth. Raum targets the deceased Abigail Williams, a key figure in the Massachusetts Salem witch trials, as a key to opening the gate to the outer god. Thus, Raum summons Abigail as a servant to a singularity created in present-day Salem, recreating the witch trials as a means of provoking Abigail's latent power. Repeating the events multiple times causes the singularity to grow and consume mana at a frighteningly fast rate. Responding to this growth, the near-future observational lens Sheba detects Raum and acts as a catalyst in summoning the Queen of Sheba into Salem as a caster-class servant. There, the Queen manages to slow the singularity down at the cost of her powers. Making the most of this interruption, Raum decides to take advantage of the Queen's weakness and incorporate her into its scheme by forcing her to play the role of Tituba, the slave owned by Abigail Williams' family. As such, the Queen of Sheba is manipulated into truly believing she is Tituba. Fortunately, the Queen's actions gave Ritsuka a chance to ray-shift into the singularity and resolve it from within. Ritsuka's party befriends the people of Salem, disguised as a band of traveling performers. They meet Abigail, Tituba, and the town's wicked inquisitor, Matthew Hopkins. Yet, despite their best efforts to protect Abigail from the horrors of the witch trials, Ritsuka's party find themselves helpless as Tituba is accused of witchcraft and sneakily hanged to death. Tituba and the other victims rise from their graves as ghouls, prompting Ritsuka to destroy them. Oddly enough, this works in Chaldea's favor, as doing so frees the Queen of Sheba from her role as Tituba long enough to form a contract with Ritsuka. This finally gives her the strength she needs to fight against Raum. In battle, the Queen of Sheba fights as the caster of Midrash, wielding a golden Jinn lantern to cast spells on her enemies, specifically by spreading the smoke of an incense burner. The resulting fog can be used to attack, fly, conjure whirlwinds, create copies of herself, and call forth weapons like boxing gloves and hammers. Indeed, despite being the physically weakest class, the Queen of Sheba can let loose with a pounding of punches. Her noble phantasm is the 3 enigmas, 3 riddle tellings, which manifests her famous riddles as Jinn servants named Ahat, Shtaim, and Shalosh. These Jinn attack the enemy with physical strikes, embodying each of the riddles. Despite Chaldea's efforts, this final iteration of the witch trials provokes Abigail to awaken as the key in summoning Soot Typhon into her body. The pain she's endured losing her friends and loved ones breaks her, and the gates to the outer god are opened. After some fighting against Abigail, the Queen of Sheba realizes that the gates aren't fully open. Soot Typhon has yet to fully awaken. Thus, the Queen teams up with her fellow caster Circe to seal the gates from the inside and protect Ritsuka's main force via a barrier around Town Hall. This gives Chaldea its chance to break Abigail's connection to the outer god and finish Raum off for good. While the singularity vanishes along with her, the Queen of Sheba ultimately returns to Chaldea as a summoned servant, where she continues to fight at Ritsuka's side. Her daily life as a Chaldean servant is moderately troublesome, however. After all, the Queen is not without her own preferences, impulses, and emotions. Her aggressive business sense goes uninhibited, causing her to practically salivate at the thought of making more money. She enters into a joint business venture with Gilgamesh's child form to sell valuable treasures from the Gate of Babylon. Why? because she yearns to buy pet camels for the facility, which, given Chaldea's frigid isolation, would cost a fortune to maintain. Facing this reality, she becomes upset, yearning for the desert once more. When emotionally provoked, the queen sometimes accidentally syncs up with the Sheba lens, forcing her clairvoyant illusions to manifest in the facility's simulations. Thus, for the sake of humanity, Ritsuka sates the queen's homesickness by pledging to be her camel. Sadly, even this noble offer is not enough to help when she encounters David, Solomon's father. She cannot stand him, seeing such a famous king behave like a vagabond. Needless to say, while the Queen of Sheba is a valued ally for humanity, she comes with baggage worth its weight in gold. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this channel, help me beat the algorithm by liking, commenting, and sharing the video, subscribing to Otaku Daikun, and, most of all, smashing that notification bell so you don't miss out on all of my anime discussion, lore, or Let's Play content. If you want to support me directly, there are now 3 ways that all provide the same benefits. You can click Join here on YouTube, or join Patreon or Subscribestar for access to exclusive vids and early access. As always, celebrate your fandom.